Hello everyone, welcome to the lesson number 2 of our Excel Foundations course. Uh, Today we have a very exciting lecture lined up for you, and let's quickly look into what we will be doing here. So this course, this is an introduction to Excel and how to manage spreadsheets, formulas and functions, graphs and charts, and data analysis fundamentals. Uh, I have already explained this in my previous lesson. If you want to know more about this, so you can quickly check lesson number 1. Okay. In today's lesson, we will focus on data duplication methods, including drag, drop, and how do you duplicate the data, copying and pasting and cutting the data. Your fill handle. This is a very unique feature of Excel, and it is a great time saver. It saves a lot of time because in Excel there are times you have to work with huge amounts of data, very big data that you have to handle, and this fill handle is actually something which comes in very handy. And we are also going to work with numbers. We are going to take that example of our profit and loss statement that we worked previously, and we are going to take it a step further, also using the fill handle and everything. And we are just going to look at different cell types, currencies and dates and those things, and somewhat little bit of basic formatting. So let's start. So in lesson number 1, we were working on this profit and loss statement, and we are going to now use the same sheet and take it a step further. But before working on this, we need to start with data duplication methods, as this course is for beginners. So I wanted to touch upon these aspects. A lot of you would be familiar with it, but there could be someone who may not even know this. So let's start with it. The simplest method of copying data is that you select a cell, you right click, you copy, and you paste. Now, uh, if you see that whenever I copy something, so you get it like this. So this is also an indication that if you do not see this broken lines moving around, these broken lines moving around your cell, so it is not actually copied. So I would simply paste. I'm not going to get into paste special and those things, but I'm going to simply paste it. Okay, now this is one way of doing this. Let's delete this. Okay. Whenever you do something on Excel, you need to understand this, that if I say, for example, if I copy this and here in some cell without pasting it, if I write, let's say 1 here, so whatever I have copied or selected, it would be automatically deselected. So you need to know this, because you may select a huge chunk of data, maybe different cells, and when you want to paste it somewhere, but you do something with your Excel sheet, and your selection will actually be gone. Another method is very simple. You use Control C for copying and Control V for pasting. So this is the shortcut which we use a lot. And now this is copying, and the same as something which you can use for cutting. So if I right click here and I use cut, and then I use say paste, so it is actually going to cut it and move here. Similarly, you can use the shortcut Control X and Control V. So this is how you do your copying and pasting and moving. One thing what you can do is that you can also drag and drop your cells. You select a cell, and then when you get this these four arrows, sign, you just click on it and you simply drag it. You can see that it is has gone there. I press Ctrl Z and I return it back. This, acha, even if you see here, we had this formula which was B3 minus B10. So if I move, say, B3 somewhere, there is no impact on my formula. So it doesn't actually matter if you move around the cell. It will now the formula would be F5 minus B10. Uh, Look at this. This is now F5 minus B10. So moving around the formula, moving around the cell which your formula is actually pointing to or corresponding to, will have no effect. So you can freely move around if your formulas are in place, and if you want some cell to move or you want to insert some cell, so it will not have a major impact on you there are times when there is impact, but we are not going to get into that because it is now too early for that. But here you can see that we had basically zero impact. Now let's go into the fill handle, which is something which I really like, and it's a great time saver. uh, so let's start it. For example, we had this profit and loss statement. So let's say we say that this is only for 1 month. I say January, I write January, and here I write February. Now, this is a lot of work that if I write March and April and May over here. So one great feature of Excel is that if I select January and February like this, and this small dot at the side, which is called the fill handle, if I use this and drag it, so you see I get March, April, May, which is very simple. And this is something which is very handy, and this is something which will save a lot of time for you whenever you are working with this. Even in January, let's say if I say write it 2021, so, and the format is now this January 2021. See, the format has changed, and I drag it. So the impact is on all these cells, right? So this is how you do it. Okay, now another thing is that you can also do this with numbers. Say, let me insert a cell here, because and I say that I also need say a serial number. Okay, how many items are there in my profit and loss statement? So I write one way is I write one, and then I write two and three. So but that is not effective. You can do the same with numbers. Simply drag it, and that is how it is done. Okay, now you need to be careful about one thing, that if you write one here and you simply drag this one, so it is going to repeat it. The same thing would be in case of, let's say, uh, anything. Let's say I select this profit here and I drag it, so it will be profit, 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 everywhere it will be profit. So you may need this as well. So this is good, but I didn't want one, one, one. I didn't want it like this. So how am I going to correct this? So it would be 1, 2. If I do it like this and I drag it wherever I want, so you see it's now 1, 2, 3. Okay, there is something which you can even work in with odd and even, and in a pattern as well. Let's say I use 1, 3, 5. I do it like this. See, so I get 7, 9, 11, and 13. Or for simply for these even numbers, it's gonna work as well. So you get an idea how this can be done, this fill handle. So this is very handy, and the more you work with this, the more you will understand this. So this is something which I wanted to share with you, and this is something which will be a great time saver for anyone actually, even if you are working with big data or even in small data, it saves time. So let's delete this and now work on our sheet. So I don't want to work on monthly basis. Let's change this into quarters. Say I use quarter one and quarter two. Let's see. And this is now I'm going to use the fill handle. So I have quarter 3 and 4. Okay, I don't need these. I'm gonna delete this. So basically this would be divided into 4 quarters. I'm gonna double click this. Okay, now and delete this data which I don't need. So let's put in the numbers quickly. Say my revenue roughly stays the same for all these quarters. We can change it. So see, look at this. I am just dragging it and I have this. Okay, now whenever the number size is larger than the cell width, you are going to get something like this. This actually means that the number width is larger, so you need to expand the cell. So one method is you go up and you drag the cell, the width you adjust it like this, or another method is you simply come here at the end of this cell uh, and you just double click, do the same here. And one thing can be that you can even select the whole sheet like this here. Now I have selected it and I double click any rightmost cell and this gets uh, uh, justified in the way that we want it. Okay, now okay, my product cost, say it increased in the second quarter, also in the third quarter, and then normalized back to this. Now you see we do not have the same format here. So one thing is that but I want this format everywhere, so I would simply going to select the format painter and do this. So same is the thing we can do for all the rest of the data. Now but there is one thing which I want, that this data doesn't show any units. I want it to show some units. Say these are either dollars or are they Pakistani rupees or real or dirham. You have no idea what they are. So how am I going to put some currency sign here? The easiest method is you see here in the number area up here, you have the accounting number format, the dollar sign. You simply click dollar, you get this, and as previously we said that if you need these decimal places, they are fine. If you don't need them, you can simply decrease the decimals, and I decrease them. And now you have this dollar, select this format, you have this. Okay, what if you don't need this dollar? You say that I want some other currency. So there is a drop down menu for you near this dollar. If you select this, so you have different Chinese, euro. Say I change this to euro. Now you see, now this is euro. But even if I don't want euro, I say I need Pakistani rupee. So can I select this? Yes, you can. You would right click and then you have format cell options, and then in the format cell option you can actually select and group revenue. So you can play a lot with this. There are so many things which you can do with this. uh, so you can use the currency, you can use say you can just simply select pkr from your format cells, so it changes to pkr. This is so simple, and this is also something which is fun. Let's change it back to dollar. Let's keep it at dollars. So I have these dollars, and I want the whole format to be in dollars. So I select these as well, and I also select the cells which I haven't done any entry in, but later I will have these entries. So now you have dollars here. Let's quickly put in the numbers. Say I do the same here. Here I make a few changes, not much, but say here, and my website, let's say, stays the same. My HR increases in the last 2 quarters. Say my social media stays the same. Okay, now, and I have for formula here, so I simply select this cell and I drag it, and it is going to calculate it. And the same is for this cell. So I do it here, and yes. So I have all this data now set up for me, all these numbers and all these currencies and everything. And in format cell you can actually select percentages, you can select dates, and you can even customize whatever you select. So there is a lot of space for you, but the best way to learn Excel would be that you play around with it. You make this sheet as you see. I have made this from scratch and it is available to you, so you can actually make a sheet, this sheet or any sheet, and start playing with it. The more you play with the Excel, the more you will learn. So you need to get your hands dirty in order to learn Excel. And so this is all from my side today, and we will be looking at formulas and additions and different subtraction, and say uh, some customized formulas and functions as well in the next lesson. I hope you liked it, and if you did, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Thank you.